Hey everybody, welcome back to Jeff Bowl Central. Are you like me? Do you hate hospitals? Have you ever wanted to be a hospital administrator so you could really stick it to your patients? Like overcharge them, make their lives a living hell, torture them to within an inch of, or have you ever wanted to run a hospital with perfect efficiency? Oh well, I don't know that anybody asked for this game, but have I got a game for you? It's called 2 Point Hospital, which is a PC game. It's been on PC for a year. It just came out on console, and I thought I'd play it because number one, I like Sims pretty much of any shape and size as long as it's good, and also because there's kind of not much else out right now. My options are limited, because it's like the video game dead season. A lot of great stuff coming later, but right now I'm a hospital administrator. But it's not as bad as all that. It's not as bad as all that. 2 Point Hospital is actually a fun game, and the reason it's fun for me, other than the fact that being a pretty competent sim for what it is. Sim is a very wide open genre. You can have a tractor sim, you can have a people sim called The Sims, you can have a Sim City that's called Sim City, or you can have a hospital sim. It depends on what you want out of a hospital sim. I guess I don't know. I wouldn't have gone straight for administrator, but then again, why not? What really makes this game for me is the sense of humor, the sense of whimsy. It's very, very clearly meant to be British in nature. It's sort of meant to be reminiscent of the same both art style and comedic style of the classic Wallace and Gromit Aardman Studios Chicken Run. What else did they make? Kind of English stop motion funny stuff, right? I mean, you got to be into English humor, but who's not? Who's not into English humor? Please, please, give me at least a Monty Python. Come on now, come on now. And honestly, if it weren't for that sense of personality, this probably wouldn't be as fun as it is, because everything about it just exudes this humor and this charm that comes from not taking any of it seriously. I mean, honestly, the diseases are crazy. The first disease you encounter is called lightheadedness. The second one is some kind of pop star mania where these people think they're Freddie fucking Mercury. Look at this. Look at this. There's 2 Freddie Mercuries outside a psychiatrist's office. Doesn't that sound like a knock knock joke? That sounds like a punchline coming, right? There's a third Freddie Mercury at the desk. That's what I'm talking about. It's the sense of humor, and it's everywhere. It's in all the menus. It's in all the staff hiring and firing choosings. It's in all the things you gotta, all the different apparatuses and operating things, To cure a clown, you gotta get him diagnosed by a psychiatrist, and then you show him some kind of weird, horrible, saddening machine that just fucking takes the humor right out of him. You're cured. If it weren't for the charm, if it weren't for the personality and the humor, it wouldn't be as much fun because, as far as Sims go, when it comes to a sim like this, which is like, administration or building, running something like a city, or someone's life, that kind of sim, not so much like the farming sim kind of thing. There's one or two ways you can go. You can go really, really simple, or you can go really, really complex, right? So, am I building a hospital? Architecturally speaking, do I have that kind of creative freedom? Is it that kind of sandbox? See, look, people die in your hospital, they become ghosts, you gotta vacuum them up. That's funny. I'll laugh at that. Not as funny as Freddie Mercury, but, I'll laugh at it. And so when you're designing the hospital, you're kind of limited. Now, I noticed, I've seen how different other people play this game. And if you notice my footage here, everything is very boxy, and it's probably because I've spent time in hospitals. I hate hospitals. I cannot stay in hospitals. In fact, at this point in my life, I've spent so much time in hospitals for myself and for other people, I can't stand them. I have a phobia of them. So it's all boxy and horrible. But I have seen some people put some creativity into this specific game You get like the outline of a superstructure of a hospital, and then whatever you fill it in with is totally up to you. And there is some customization, but it's not really a sandbox per se. Again, the goal of the game is administrating. Okay, it's running a hospital in kind of a fun, whimsical way, which is fine. The only thing about it is I find because it doesn't have that added degree of sandboxiness, of creativity. You know what I mean? Like there's a certain aspect to sim that makes it feel like you're actually creating stuff, that you're actually allowed to be creative. You know what I mean? Like you get to whip out your Minecraft mojo, and create something cool. Like even the granddaddy of all Sim City. You can even design cities or The Sims. You create these cool houses, you create these people, and that's kind of not present. And I get that it's not really the point to be present. My only thing is that because it's not present, there's Freddie Mercury again. Because it's not, there's another Freddie Mercury. I'm sorry, I'm in love with that. That makes me laugh. Because the creativity is not so present, I feel like it doesn't have the longevity. Now, I played this game, 10 hours, and after 10 hours, I figured, I felt like I'd seen all there was to see, really. And it was getting same, and it was getting just like the same thing over and over again, but a matter of size. My hospital was getting bigger, and my problems were getting bigger, and it was harder to hold the whole thing on the tracks, but that's kind of the only place for a sim like this to go, unless it has that super creative aspect to it. I hope all that made sense. She's a killer queen, got bad agility. I didn't expect to do that. I don't think anybody expected me to do that. So, 2-point Hospital on console. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I feel like it's decent. It's worth your time if you're into Sims. If you're not, there's better. But God, whatever. Okay, hey, look, it's time for me to sell you this book, which is actually awesome and excellent. God's Body, Book 1, The Fall. This is my latest novel. I wrote this. It's about giant God and giant Satan battling to the death and the global fallout that ensues. It's pulpy, it's horrific, it's dramatic, it's tense, it's funny, it's comic booky, it's all these things and more. And guess what? It's only for the low, low price of... I'll let you find that out. Actually, I don't remember how much I charged for this. Money doesn't matter to me. I'm a hospital admin. I get paid in Queen records, so